Did you know that over 75% of people fear public speaking more than death? That's right, people are more scared of talking in front of others than they are of anything else. And yet, speaking clearly and confidently can open doors to endless opportunities. Whether it's in a meeting, a job interview, or even just a conversation, clear speech can make or break how you're perceived. But here's the shocking truth: most of us don't really know how to speak clearly. Research shows that the average person speaks at about 120 words per minute, but in a fast-paced world, that can leave listeners behind. You may have great ideas, but if they're not communicated clearly, no one will notice. In this video, I'm going to share 6 powerful tips that helped me transform the way I speak. From mastering the pause to visualizing your speech, these strategies can boost your confidence and help you communicate with clarity. Get ready to learn how to speak with more impact, without needing to be a natural-born speaker. Let's dive into the first tip. Chapter 1: The Power of Silence. Mastering the art of the pause. It might sound counterintuitive, but silence is one of the most powerful tools you can use when speaking. Most people rush through their words without taking a breath. But pausing for just a few seconds can make a huge difference in how your message is received. A well-timed pause gives your audience time to reflect on what you've said. It makes your speech feel more intentional. A pause can also help you control your pace. When we speak too quickly, our words blur together, and our message gets lost. Research shows that people tend to pay more attention to speakers who use pauses effectively. In fact, studies have found that 75% of listeners are more engaged when the speaker uses pauses strategically. Pauses help you avoid filler words like and ah. These words tend to sneak in when we feel uncomfortable with silence. But the truth is, silence doesn't make us uncomfortable, filler words do. So, next time you're speaking, try to embrace the pause. Not only will your words sound clearer, but you'll also come across as more confident. One famous speaker, Martin Luther King Jr., was a master of pauses. His speeches often included carefully placed moments of silence, giving his words power and depth. It's not just about what you say, but also when you don't say anything. Chapter 2: Words that Stick. How to choose simple yet impactful vocabulary. We all want to sound intelligent when we speak. But here's the thing: big words often confuse people more than they impress them. Using simple, straightforward vocabulary is a surefire way to make your speech clear and impactful. Consider this: research shows that the average adult can understand a third-grade reading level, but anything above that starts to lose them. Using complex words may seem like a good way to show off your knowledge, but in reality, it often does the opposite. The clearer you are, the more people will trust you. A great example of this comes from the book Made to Stick by Chip Heath and Dan Heath. They explain that the best communicators use sticky language, simple words that make ideas easy to remember. Take Steve Jobs, for example. In his famous iPhone launch speech, he didn't use complicated tech jargon. Instead, he used simple phrases like touch and phone, which made the idea easy to grasp for everyone. Another tip: avoid jargon and industry-specific terms unless you're sure your audience understands them. If you're talking to a general crowd, break down complex ideas into bite-sized pieces. This makes it easier for people to connect with what you're saying. When choosing words, think about what your audience needs to understand, not what you want to impress them with. The goal is to ensure your message is crystal clear. Chapter 3: The Rhythm of Clarity. Speaking with purposeful cadence. Have you ever listened to someone speak and noticed their voice seemed to flow in a way that kept you hooked? That's cadence. Cadence is the rhythm of your speech, the way you vary the speed, pitch, and tone of your voice. Mastering cadence can make your speech feel more natural and engaging. Research by linguists has shown that people are more likely to remember speakers who vary their tone and pace. A monotone delivery can make even the most exciting ideas sound boring. In contrast, a varied cadence can create emphasis, excitement, and energy. Think about your favorite speaker. Chances are, they use rhythm to draw you in and keep your attention. To create a good cadence, practice alternating between fast and slow speech. If you speak too quickly, your audience might miss important points. If you speak too slowly, they could lose interest. Finding the balance is key. A good rule of thumb is to slow down during important moments and speed up during less critical parts. Tone is also essential. A higher pitch can convey excitement, while a lower pitch can communicate authority. Changing your tone based on the message you're delivering helps keep your audience engaged. For instance, when delivering a punchline or key message, lowering your pitch just before you say it can add emphasis. Take a moment to observe some of the best speakers in the world, like Barack Obama. His speeches are famous for their rhythm. He masterfully varies his pace and tone to create suspense and highlight crucial points. It's no surprise that studies show Obama's speeches have a high engagement factor, largely due to his skillful use of cadence. If you're finding these tips helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe for more. Chapter 4. Visualize to verbalize. How mental mapping shapes speech. One of the most effective ways to improve your clarity is by organizing your thoughts before speaking. This doesn't mean you need to memorize everything word for word, but creating a mental map of your ideas will help you deliver them in a clear, logical sequence. According to cognitive psychologist Dr. John Sweller, organizing information in a structured way allows your brain to process it more efficiently. When you mentally map your speech, you know exactly where you're going next, which makes your words flow more naturally. The clearer the structure, the clearer your delivery. Start by outlining the key points you want to discuss. For example, in a presentation, think about the introduction, body, and conclusion. Within the body, map out the main ideas or arguments. Visualizing these points helps you stay on track and prevents you from wandering off topic. A technique I found useful is the mind palace method, where you mentally assign each point of your speech to a different room or location. By mentally walking through these spaces, you can easily recall each point when needed. Research from the University of Edinburgh shows that visualization helps increase memory recall by 40%. Once you visualize your speech, you'll find that it's easier to speak with purpose and clarity. This preparation helps you avoid rambling, and you're more likely to deliver a message that's focused and coherent. It's like giving your mind a roadmap to follow, and everyone will appreciate the clarity that comes with it. If you're enjoying these tips so far, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Chapter 5. The Mirror Trick. Self-awareness for natural delivery. Even if your words are well planned, how you present them plays a huge role in how they're received. Self-awareness is a powerful tool to ensure that your body language and tone support your message. One of the simplest ways to improve self-awareness is by practicing in front of a mirror. In The Power of Body Language, author Tonya Raymond notes that 93% of communication is non-verbal. This means that your body language, gestures, and facial expressions matter just as much as the words you say. When practicing, stand in front of a mirror to observe how you appear while speaking. Are you making eye contact? Are your hands moving in a way that reinforces your points? A lot of speakers overlook these physical aspects, but they can either enhance or detract from the clarity of your speech. For example, if you're speaking about a serious topic but have a relaxed or distracted posture, your audience may struggle to take you seriously. On the other hand, if you adopt an open posture and steady eye contact, you'll come across as confident and clear. Another aspect of self-awareness is how your voice sounds. Try recording yourself speaking, and then listen to it. Pay attention to areas where your tone might sound flat or where you might be speeding through your words. This exercise helps you catch small habits that may negatively affect your clarity. If you want to really step up your speaking game, you could also try practicing in front of a friend or colleague who can provide honest feedback. The goal is to become aware of your body language and speech habits so you can refine them and deliver your message with more confidence and clarity. Chapter 6. The Feedback Loop. How constructive criticism fuels clarity. Even if you've been practicing for a while, one of the most effective ways to improve your speech is through feedback. Seeking constructive criticism helps you identify areas for improvement and ultimately become a clearer speaker. The American Society of Training and Development, ASTD, found that 65% of people learn best through hands-on practice. However, they also discovered that feedback accelerates learning. When we receive feedback, especially from others, it helps us see things from a different perspective, which leads to faster improvement. One of the best ways to gather feedback is by recording yourself speaking and then reviewing it with someone who can provide constructive criticism. A mentor, colleague, or even a coach can point out habits you might not even notice, like speaking too quickly or using filler words. According to a study published in Communication Monographs, constructive feedback can significantly improve the clarity and delivery of a speaker's message. Sometimes, feedback might feel uncomfortable, but it's essential to growing as a speaker. Think of it as a tool to refine your skills. It's not about criticizing you as a person but rather helping you become the best communicator you can be. Embrace the process, and remember that improvement takes time. One useful method for asking for feedback is the SBI model: situation, behavior, impact. In this model, you ask for feedback by focusing on specific situations where you spoke, what behavior you demonstrated, and what impact it had on the audience. For example, in the meeting yesterday, situation, I noticed I was speaking too fast, behavior, and I could tell people were struggling to follow along, impact. How can I slow down? With consistent feedback, you'll gradually eliminate bad habits and enhance the clarity of your speech. Feedback acts as a mirror, reflecting your strengths and areas to improve. And over time, you'll start speaking more clearly and confidently, both to yourself and to others.